Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful business philosophy that completely changed the world of manufacturing. And you know what? It all starts with a simple but pretty radical idea. I mean, really think about that for a second. What if the very things you believe are keeping your business safe are actually hiding deep, fundamental problems that could totally sink you?
For most of history, right, a full warehouse was a symbol of security. It meant you had plenty of stuff ready to go. But this philosophy of lean production, it just flips that whole idea on its head. It argues that having more isn't always better. In fact, it can be a huge problem.
Okay, so here's a great way to think about it. Imagine your inventory is like the water level in a river. When the water is high, you can sail along pretty smoothly, totally unaware of all the dangerous rocks just lurking below the surface. See, those rocks, those are your company's hidden problems. Machine breakdowns, suppliers that are never on time, poor quality control. That high inventory, the water, it lets you just ignore them, at least for a little while. So, how do you find and fix those hidden problems? Well, that's where the lean philosophy comes in. It's a completely different way of thinking about how to run a business, pioneered by Toyota, and it's all about fighting one specific enemy.
This single sentence, this is the heart of the entire thing. Nothing will be produced until it is needed. It just flips the traditional model upside down. Instead of forecasting and pushing products out, you wait for a real customer to signal they want something. It sounds so simple, but this one shift from guessing to reacting has massive implications for how you operate.
And the enemy that lean is designed to absolutely destroy is waste. As you can see, the definition is pretty broad. Anything that doesn't add value for the customer. Think about it. A worker walking all the way across a massive factory floor just to grab a tool. That movement is waste. It adds cost and time, but absolutely zero value to the final product. And that's a great question because waste is often hiding in plain sight. It's just baked into the processes we all take for granted. So let's make this a little more concrete. So waste takes a lot of different forms. It's producing defective parts that have to be fixed or thrown out. It's all the money you have tied up in excess inventory, just sitting on shelves that you're paying rent for. It's the lost productivity of workers who are just standing around waiting for a machine to get fixed, or even just the time they waste walking back and forth across a poorly designed factory floor. All of this adds cost, but adds absolutely no value to the customer. So if the big goal is to eliminate all that waste by only making what's needed, how do you actually do that? Well, it comes down to a choice between two fundamentally different systems. Are you pushing or are you pulling? Okay, so the traditional way is the push system. You make a forecast, you guessed how much you're going to need, and then you push all that product through your factory and into warehouses. The lean way is the pull system. Nothing happens until a real customer order shows up. That order is the signal that pulls work through the entire system. You see the difference? One system is built on a forecast, a guess about the future. The other is built on a fact, a real order from a real customer. And just look at how this visualizes that chain reaction. It all starts right here with the customer. Their order pulls a finished product from assembly. That action then pulls parts from subassembly, which in turn pulls components from fabrication. It's this amazing domino effect that ripples all the way back to your raw material suppliers. And it's all triggered by one single thing: real demand. You know, a perfect analogy for this is a bucket brigade, right? You don't just keep throwing buckets of water down the line hoping for the best. No, you wait for the person in front of you to be ready, to have an empty hand before you pass the next one. That's exactly how a pulse system works. Each step signals to the one before it that it's ready for more work. But here's the thing. This isn't just about what happens inside a factory. A true lean system applies this pull philosophy to the entire supply chain, from the raw material supplier all the way to the final shipment. So it starts with lean suppliers who are flexible and high quality. Then it requires lean procurement, where your suppliers can actually see your demand in real time. Then you have lean manufacturing itself, producing just in time. And this leads to lean warehousing, because you're getting rid of wasted storage. And finally, lean logistics, optimizing every single truckload and delivery route. It's a total system overhaul. Which brings us all the way back to where we started, that river filled with all those hidden rocks. What is the ultimate point of doing all of this?
This right here, this is the real payoff. Adopting a lean, pull-based system is like deliberately lowering the water level. And as that inventory buffer disappears, those hidden rocks are suddenly exposed. The machine that always breaks down, the supplier who's always late, the quality issue you've been kind of ignoring. You can't sail over them anymore. You are forced to confront them and fix them.
So, the most crucial point is this. Lean isn't really about inventory. The inventory is just the tool. The real goal is continuous improvement. By forcing yourself to see your problems, you also force yourself to solve them. And a business that is constantly solving its deepest problems, well, that's a business that gets stronger, faster, and more resilient every single day.
And that leaves us with a final thought. This philosophy doesn't just apply to factories. Think about your own work, your own projects, maybe even your daily routines. What's the inventory you're holding on to that might be hiding a deeper problem? What waste could you eliminate to become just a little bit leaner?